We're doing something a little different here to start. I figured if I have things to say beforehand, I should enlarge the screen because you're just gonna be staring at a main menu anyways. What we're doing here. I haven't even launched the game yet, to be honest. Um, Anyways, we're gonna be playing The Witcher today, and I thought I could give some background info before we start. So, obviously, everyone and their mother has heard of The Witcher 3 by now. It's a great game, and you don't need to play the others to get into it because of the nature of the story and just how the books are written in general. Uh, but I've been a fan since the beginning. Haven't read the books, but love the games. Uh, Fun fact: writer actually doesn't like the games because technically the protagonist is supposed to be dead, and they just retcon it and bring him back to life for the sake of being a video game character. But I'm totally cool with that because I actually find Geralt to be very relatable, even though he's not supposed to be. Uh, so he's probably one of my favorite game characters, just in general. Uh, so The Witcher is kind of an important piece of history, as it is the first game to come out of Poland. It's actually had a very interesting development cycle you should look into if you're interested. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about that. You can do it on your free time. Focus more on what The Witcher actually is. It's a series of Polish fantasy novels. They were pretty big at the time they came out, but only in Poland, so when it shipped out, nobody knew what the hell to expect, really. It didn't have the same fan power outside of its local area. So they were relying totally on the merits of the game and not the fandom. Uh, as far as the first game goes, it focuses more on setting up a foundation for the world and our protagonist, and it doesn't tie in too heavily to any of the books. So you honestly don't have to read them to get into it. They start to tie in a bit more as the series goes on, but even then, you're free. So, a lot of this background information can be found in game, but I don't think it'd be very interesting to watch me read that. So I'm gonna talk a bit about the world, I guess. It's dark fantasy world, uh, and I guess after some event, like portals open and monsters start running rampant, and they just ruin everyone's lives. And the thing about monsters is they can't be hurt with normal weapons. You require a silver sword, and even then, it's a monster. It's gonna freaking kill you. So to combat these, people made witchers. Um, so essentially, people would be either kidnapped or taken off the street, or won as a quest reward, essentially. And it's not a nice time to be alive. And they'd be taken and experimented on, I guess. They were turned into mutants. Be super strong and trained to be master swordsmen. They can see in the dark. They essentially have monster organs, which enables them to drink potions, which are like super steroids. They would destroy a normal human's liver. And that's kind of their whole deal. You have these superhumans that are trained to hunt monsters because they ruin everyone else's lives. But the thing is, uh, well, they're freaks. Nobody likes them. So they kind of went extinct over time. And our group of about 4 people is the only ones left in the whole world, and people really need their help still. There's no way to deal with monsters. They kind of didn't think about that. So, Witchers have no sense of morality. Their whole deal is they just do any job that they get paid for. So there has to be a reward in it for them, or they can't take the work. But in the line of work, they always end up finding themselves making tough decisions anyways. So even though our character doesn't have emotions per se, he still uses a sense of logical deduction to make choices. So I think it's a very interesting way of doing it. It's all black and white in that sense. One of the most basic things would be like everyone's poor, so they can't give you that big a reward, but you need to make the cost of preparations for killing a monster back, and then putting your life at risk and your equipment, all that, but then you might further ruin these people's lives by making them go broke. So that's the kind of stuff you have to deal with on a daily basis as a Witcher. Also, sorcerers are also not liked in general. I guess they have portals inside of them that took out some of their organs and enables them to use magic, so magic isn't commonplace. It kind of plays a big role in the story of this game. But we'll get into that when we get to it. And that's the whole deal. There's a lot of prejudice and racism in this world. Obviously not against normal human stuff like elves and dwarves. That's racism. Yeah, it is. Anyways, let's get started. I made a point to not launch the game quite yet because there's a little intro video that's mentioned in the game, but it's not entirely relevant. It's just a fun flavor setter, I guess. We're going to switch into game view and launch. Right, sorry for ignoring you there, Spunky. I wanted to get my speech done before I forget what I wanted to say. Oops. Right.
His name was Geralt of Rivia. He was a witcher, a professional monster slayer. An unusual contract to lift the curse that held a monarch's daughter. It was enough to spend the night with the princess, dusk till dawn. If only she were not a deadly beast, a striga. The traitor responsible for the curse became the bait. Though gravely wounded, the Witcher lifted the curse and gained fame. The world changed with the coming of the Great War, the time of the sword and axe, the time of disdain. Geralt of Rivia disappeared, all but forgotten. But that's another story.
Alright, so, there was an example of another tough decision he would have to make. That Shriga was the king's daughter, so he'd be in big trouble if he let her die. So he had to go through that whole roundabout way of lifting her curse instead of just putting her down. It was very dangerous. He wasn't really able to hit it at all. So I modded this game a bit. I made it textures look nice. I installed Reshade. I've installed Rise of the White Wolf to clean up the UI. Rise of the White Wolf itself is a remake of this game that never happened, sadly. But were anyone interested in playing this today, they could make it look about as good as this. How did I feel about Legacy of Kain? I think Blood Omen was probably the best of all the games, hands down. Soul Reaver was fun, if a bit clunky. I'd love to see a remake of them, actually. Defiance, it left the game on an okay note. There's a couple of loose ends that I'd like to see tied up, but I'm okay with where it left the story, even though the game is sadly, and the franchise is sadly dead right now. They were enjoyable. I'm glad I finally got around to playing all of them. Not yet, no underwear. So there is a pretty popular mod for this game called the Full Combat Rebalance, and the guy who made it actually got a job at CD Projekt Red for it. But I think that the changes that it makes are too drastic. I like a lot of them, but some of them kind of change the game a bit too much for my taste. So we're playing with the vanilla balancing. and we're gonna play it hard because the spirit of the game revolves around using alchemy, in my opinion, and in normal and easy, you can get by without doing it, and well, you don't get to feel like a witcher when you play on these two difficulties. So we're gonna do hard, even if it might lead to a little bit of grinding. I kind of know what I'm doing. It's been quite a few years since I played this. I think I was 12 the first time I did, and gameplay wasn't immediately gratifying, and I was going through a weird time in my life. I just kind of abandoned it after a bit and went to play stuff that were fun, like Red Faction Guerrilla or something that's just brain dead fun. But I came back to this 2 years after the fact. So I was 13, 14 years old, maybe. I finally had my own computer, finally had the time to really sink my teeth into this, and I just fell in love with it. I'm glad to say, because the game isn't super popular with the kids. Now, the mod is not modular. It comes with like 6 different versions, but even the easiest one has pretty drastic changes. So, this right here, this is pretty important to why I feel people don't like the game. So CD Projekt Red, after they had a bunch of money, were like, wow, maybe people would play games in Poland if they were in Polish. So they went to E3 a few times, and they had a few run-ins with BioWare around the time they were making Jade Empire. Jade Empire is made on upgraded version of Aurora engine, which was used to make Neverwinter Nights. And CD Projekt Red was able to license out the original Aurora engine, and they took it and modified it a bit so it looks nicer, but it's essentially still like a click and wait combat system like World of Warcraft or something like that, or Neverwinter Nights itself, obviously, and it's meant to be played from a top-down perspective, but the animations are all flashy and you don't have a party, so they added an over-the-shoulder mode, which makes people feel like they're playing an action RPG, but that's not what this is. And I think that is a big part of what turns people off, that it doesn't present itself correctly. I think that it's still best played in over-the-shoulder, though.
The northern kingdoms nursed their wounds for 5 years after the Great War. Plague and famine raged, the death toll unknown. A few surviving elven and dwarven units sought refuge amidst forests, where they prepared for a final, desperate fight. Abominable beasts ruled backwoods, highways, and former battlefields alike. In cities and villages, folk were left wondering, what had happened to the Witchers? The Blue Mountains in the north of Kedwin. The year 1270, 5 years after the Great War.
So, right now we're watching Geralt's death. This is what was written in the books. It's not entirely clear to us what's going on yet because they bring it back up in the second game. But yeah, he was pretty much killed, and they bring him back for the sake of being a game character, and that pissed off the writer. But it's cool. But because of this death, he has lost his whole memory, and that's kind of why this game works as a standalone experience. And you don't need to have read any of the books.
Where am I?
And they kind of ease you into the
all right.
world
I've no idea
through
where
this.
you've been. The important thing is you're alive and among friends. Though you look like you just left your grave.
These people who found me are, the School of the Wolf, my brother Witchers, the last ones on Earth.
I remember nothing. We'll speak soon enough. We're nearing Karamoran.
So Karamoran is a castle that they take care of. It's where their school is. It's hidden away because if anybody knew where they were, they'd come and drive them out. Use this land as their own military fortress. Witchers would literally be extinct. They have to take care to keep their path here hidden. What's a paladin? Well, thing is, those kind of exist, but not quite. They're just coming about in the time of this game, and they play a big role in the story of this, actually. Real issue with, like, traditional fantasy paladins is they can use miracles, which divine magic is not a thing in this universe. So they're not quite as fit to be taking care of monsters.
We're home. Leo, get Triss.
Your time nears its end, witches. Enjoy things while you can.
Oh geez, I forgot to mention, this is the first time I'm playing a game with my keyboard and mouse, so my keyboard's not the most clicky, you shouldn't hear too much of it, but you might hear mouse clicks.
Always.
Barely 2 days have passed since they found you.
Mm-hmm. I owe my recovery to you. Thank you, Triss.
Remember anything?
Not much. Look below. I know the moves. Pirouette, parry, cut.
Oh yeah, game has breast physics. Good game.
I can't explain it, but I feel a bond when we speak. I know you are important.
Geralt, we...
I need to think.
Time flows slowly at Karamoran.
Ha! It worked! Not bad. Take a rest. What do you think, Geralt? Is he ready for the path?
Sure.
For the rest.
Gary of Rivier.
Almost 50 orens for every freak we kill.
He's mine!
Vesemir, we got company.
Right.
Shutting the gates.
So,
Grab a sword off the training forms.
you'd think even as the last school of Witchers, we'd still be training new ones, but Vesemir, the old guy, he's the only one who knows how to do the procedures, and he decided that it's unethical to subject children to mutations and kidnap them and shit, so they were actually just not doing that anymore. Geralt, that's his whole name, Geralt of Rivia. Because the children were taken away from their families or their strays to begin with, they were given new names to sound like knights or whatever. So he's Geralt, and he's from Rivia. I don't think he's even from Rivia, but that's what he tells people. I think his mother's actually a druid, so he didn't have a family name to begin with. That's not a bad way of looking at it, actually. Right, so, you see, I click on an enemy and I do a chain of attacks. That's part of what ruins the game feel, because you're not doing a slash per click, you're doing a chain per click. And it kind of throws things off a bit. And right now we can only fight with the heavy attack style. And the attacks look a little slow. There's a reason for all of it, though. You have a speed stat, which will speed up the attacks, which is why it looks kind of slow.
How do you feel?
And then,
Anyone know who the intruders are?
as the combat mechanics are introduced, there will be more to do than just click and
You
wait.
could try some of your famous magic.
In due time, Lambert.
Enough! We need to check the other possible passages to the upper courtyard.
So, traditionally, because sorceresses are very dangerous and there's so few of them, they all belong to a king. And Triss is the court wizard for Temeria, which is where this game will be taking place. But she's also a friend of Geralt. I guess I can talk about that. So they kind of hide this away, but in the book, The Last Wish, Geralt goes on an adventure with a sorceress named Yennefer, and she ends up trying to tame a genie for its power, and she fucks up, and that genie goes on a rampage. So, to put the genie to rest, you obviously just have to make some wishes. And Geralt made some arbitrary wishes, one of which being to make Yennefer fall in love with him, because that actually doesn't affect him, someone without emotions, at all. So he kind of made good on it, and he lives with Yennefer essentially, but she's gone missing because of story reasons, and Geralt doesn't remember anything about her. Triss is Yennefer's best friend, and she has taken this opportunity to move in on her mans. Now Triss is gonna convince me that I'm her lover now. And yeah. She's kind of a backstabbing bitch, but Trish is also a nice woman, so the real dilemma.
What's happening?
They're trying to break down the gate!
They won't get anywhere without a battering ram.
Shit! What is that?
A frightener. One mean beast.
Savola. I know him. A mage as ambitious as he is insane.
Right, that's the tutorial boss. We'll get around to fighting him at the end of this.
They're coming up here. Get ready!
There's a couple big, unique enemies, and when you kill them, you get a special part, which you can use to make a mutagen, which is like a free level up, essentially.
Murder for hire. I sense magic.
So we won't see too many of those, but we do get to fight it.
Professor, you know...
It should also be noted that we don't have a silver sword at the moment, so it's gonna be a long fight.
The professor is wanted in Redania, Temeria, and Kedwen. A real maggot. I don't recognize the sorcerer.
Marigold, I'm interested in whether you can disarm Savola. The rest is witch's work.
I'll try.
They're coming.
The Frightener is very dangerous, but it's vulnerable to loud noises.
The bell's in the upper courtyard.
Exactly. Eskel, Lambert, you'll help me stop the Frightener and the bandits. Leo, stay behind us. Geralt, you open the gate to the upper courtyard. When we're there,
Forgot about
Triss
Leo.
can stop Savola and his pet.
Poor boy.
We prepare to deal with the Professor and the unknown mage.
I'll figure something out.
Let's do this. Bleed them a bit down here before withdrawing. Geralt, follow the wall and break through to the tower where there's a passage to the upper courtyard.
Alone?
They're just bandits, though one might be infamous. You must open the gate. We'll be waiting. Good luck, Wolf.
Oh yeah, Geralt's nickname is the White Wolf, by the way, because of his hair. That came from his mutations. So he just looks like a fucking old man, even though he's like 20, maybe.
We can't hold them much.
I think everyone has their current voice actors except for Lambert, which is fine because he's like a guest character. He goes away after the tutorial. No, they all have random mutations, I guess. But, the cat eyes are pretty common. That's the one thing that all of them have. It lets them see in the dark. That's kind of like a mandatory mutation. But other things are a bit more mixed up. So Geralt got all the good shit. He's got the edgy white hair. He's big and strong. He's got the fucking bear liver. You know, I bet. Sex is the only thing that Witchers can really take pleasure in anymore. So they fuck a lot. Kind of a big deal. Sorceresses are infertile as well as Witchers, by the way, so Geralt really gets around. Okay, so this is telling us about the new chain attack mechanic. This is essentially the same thing as a timed button press in something like Paper Mario. You initiate your attack, and then at a certain point, your cursor will glow. And if you click, you'll get a stronger version of the attack that's faster as well. And these are pretty important to land these if you want to survive. No Witcher babies. Also, because their liver is so strong that they drink the potions without dying, alcohol doesn't do much for them either, so they have to make their own really strong stuff. Like, they just casually drink hallucinogens, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay, so it hasn't told us about the criticals yet. I'm pretty much just chaining attacks after the end, and that's going into a stronger combo. But it's still not the fully realized thing. You also unlock new expanded combos as the game goes on through skill points. But, you know, most people didn't play the game long enough to get to that. I really don't think there are many English Let's Plays of this, so it might give me some attention. Feels good to know that, because I actually like this game. Oh, your positionment also has an effect. So if I were to get behind this guy and land a crit, I could go and like slit his throat or something. Take him out quickly. This works too, though. If you stun him, you can auto kill. I can stick my sword in his head. The animations don't look perfect, but like... they really tried. It was in Polish for a while. After they made their money, they expanded out. I guess I can talk a bit more about that. So, the developers of the game grew up behind the Iron Curtain, which means Poland was under communist rule. And by the time they were ready to enter the workforce, that was just coming down. So, all technology and shit was pretty much smuggled into Poland. And it wasn't, like, wholesale. So, CD Projekt Red started as, they'd buy imported games, translate them, and they'd resell them. And technically that's piracy, but there was no regulation around that, so it was perfectly legal for them. And they made a lot of money doing that. Also, consoles didn't exist in Poland. Because obviously you have to smuggle it in, and then you have to get games for that one thing. So they pretty much stuck to PC games. So after they made a crap ton of money and they went overseas to E3, they were talking to BioWare and like, hey, why isn't Jade Empire on PC? It is now, but at the time, yeah, we play PC games. Why isn't it on there? Like, you know, consoles are cool. No, I ain't gonna fly. We're gonna make a good PC game, and y'all are gonna help us. That's how this shit got started. It was a series of Polish books, perfect Polish translation, pretty good voice acting too, if you understand Polish. And it all got translated after the fact. This was pretty much the first legitimate game to come out of Poland. Okay, fast style. So until now we've been using the heavy style. We hold our sword over our head and it looks kind of weird. It looks better in the top-down view. But we're doing over the shoulder, so so fast style is more accurate, but it does less damage. And that's kind of its whole deal. Every time you run into a new monster, you have to like look at your bestiary, find what info you can on it. Find out what oils work best on it, what potions you should drink maybe, what style to use on it. There's a lot of preparation that goes into big fights. Oh, I am still in heavy. There we go. I switched. Strong style to defeat larger armored opponents. That's another benefit of the strong style. It does armor penetration. So if you see something, you think, oh yeah, that's a rock golem. It probably has armor. It's just like a good hint that you should probably be using the strong style on it. You can switch to style by left-clicking on the wolf. Oh, yeah, that wolf. I thought I was talking about the medallion up here. You'd think that's just a cool symbol up there, but it actually, like, vibrates and shit when monsters are nearby, so it's cool.
Mess with me and die.
It only could have been more perfect if the camera followed them. So you joke about that, but The Witcher 2, they introduced the Witcher senses, which are like a Batman detective mode, essentially. The Witcher senses are a thing. Just a remnant of the Aurora engine. You can pause your active time battle. Oh, this game also has like a fully featured level editor, so you can make custom campaigns, just like Neverwinter Nights. There's a couple of them out there, and the Enhanced Edition comes with a few bonus campaigns in it. They're all small adventures. I don't think anybody really went ham on it and made their own game out of this.
Die, bastard!
You know what it is? I think I have to unlock the crits through skill points. The enemies all look really slow, but in reality, Geralt's just faster than them. And I think they conveyed that by making them actually move slower than them. It looks kind of weird.
No way through here. Follow me. Back to Savola.
Also, in combat, you move like a fucking race car. It's kind of ridiculous. You look almost like you're sliding on the ground because of how fast you go. It's there for convenience sake. Travel less long.
Mess with me and die.
Oh yeah, we can't loot enemies quite yet, but I could pick up the axe if I wanted to. There's not a whole lot of weapons in the game, but something like an axe is what we call a sub-weapon, and it has its own use. Like, I think the axe specifically does a lot of bleeding damage, which can be useful, but it won't be as strong as just your normal long sword. Oh wait, this is a fast boy. As I upgrade my stats, I will be able to hit them with the strong style if I wanted to. But right now, you're kind of just like, nope, complete miss.
You'll be sorry.
Now there's still an enemy.
When you had the chance.
This area looks very familiar to me. I think we're getting close to that boss encounter. It might happen after we go through and get our first spell. Or it might be right now. Not super sure. Oh, also, grinding, it won't really get you much in this game. You can farm monster parts to make potions, but you will get a very minimal amount of experience. Completing quests is definitely the way to go. If you're trying to gain power like that.
You'll regret the day you were born.
And that's pretty much in line with how the other games do it as well. I think the game flows a lot better in the other two, obviously, but in this game, you pretty much don't level up without doing quests. as much as I love to go through all these, The Witcher 3 is simply too big a game. So I might play The Witcher 2 because it's still kind of a jank game, and I don't think a lot of people played that one either. But that's as far as I'd be willing to take this franchise on stream anyways. It is, because they finally made it an action game, but there's a lot of flaws with the way they did it. It's technically still in this engine, actually. So it uses stuff like the position of your mouse cursor for hit detection, which is weird when the camera's flying all over the place. You'll just miss because your mouse isn't on the enemy anymore.
Damn it, Geralt. It's a miracle you're alive.
You could have told me about the stairs.
Lambert and Eskel were supposed to fix them yesterday.
We're not masons.
No matter. The professor and the other mage must be hiding in the keep.
Face the truth, Witchers. They're here to rob you.
Triss, child, we have nothing of value. Some good steel, snow fox pelts.
I mean the laboratory and you know it. Someone wants your famed mutagens.
You're jumping to conclusions.
Triss may be right. We need to find out what they want.
One thing at a time. We shouldn't turn our backs on a strong mage leading a frightener.
And you can't let the bandits in the lab.
Right as usual, Triss. Geralt, you've dealt with mages. Find out what this one wants. Leo will guide you.
Okay. Just reconnaissance or...
No one will be sorry if some of them lose their heads. You'll manage, Wolf. Just remember Leo's with you.
I can handle this.
We'll see what's happening inside and be back.
Take these potions just in case. Drink the Thunderbolt now and keep Swallow for when you need healing. I'll be able to tell you how they work. We'll make sure no one else gets inside. Triss, stay with us in case Savola has any new ideas.
So, access inventory, left click, stat show, Thunderbolt potion to use it. Right, that's how we take care of this boss. We use a potion to make ourselves super buff. Because we don't have a silver sword, so technically wouldn't do any damage otherwise. CD Projekt Red is really good at programming. So even though this is a modified version of an existing engine, this looks fantastic for the time that it came out. Compare this to Jade Empire's graphics, and you're like, wow, photorealism isn't supposed to look good yet. That very much shows in The Witcher 2, which was probably the best looking game for its time. And The Witcher 3 is obviously very good looking for the time it came out as well. In fact, it runs very well too, compared to other things that would be on its graphical fidelity. They didn't really have the time to make their own engine quite yet, but they were working on it, and The Witcher 3 is finally on its own thing. And they have some very impressive stuff, like dynamic limb severing in that.
Ready, Geralt?
Mm-hmm. Is this your first real fight?
No, but I've never killed a man.
Stay close.
Geralt, let's go inside.
Ah, poor Leo. He's here just to die, if you couldn't tell.
Bandits inside.
He's literally nobody.
Potion Vesemir gave you.
What's that, Vesemir, he said?
So what do these potions do?
Thunderbolt is a combat potion. Your body will tense up. Adrenaline will course.
Any side effects?
Makes it tough to focus on defense. And a hangover. Swallow is a healing potion.
Thanks.
Triss, tend to the mage, please. My medallion's going wild.
I'll stop Savola. The Mantis
I
is...
think she's gonna teleport me in.
Any idea who the second mage is?
Savola tried contacting him telepathically, but I cut him off.
Did he call for help?
I don't know. I blocked him, though he tried to scramble the link.
Geralt!
What?
Bandits inside. Drink the Thunderbolt potion.
Oh, Christ, why didn't I just read? It wants me to drink first. So I said I modified the UI a bit. I don't think these was even called Orns originally. But this is all cleaned up. It looks a lot more modern compared to what it was. This down here is your ingredients inventory, and this game actually has the best alchemy system. You pick up herbs, and they have these properties to them, like Vitroli, Rebus, Ether, and you make potions based on these properties rather than the plants themselves, so you're not just finding celandine plants all over the place on various continents, like in the third game. Do I need an empty bottle? Maybe. I don't remember that part, really. I mean, it would make sense. I'm not entirely sure if you need empty flask or not. That's a healing potion, and this is a buff. Potion bomb quick slot. Gotcha. Thunderbolt. Damage inflicted increased by 100%. Dodge efficiency reduced to 50%. Parry efficiency reduced to 50%. So I do double damage, but I'm going to get hit a lot more. And here I just set a potion on the side of my screen. I think when you get your jacket, you get a few more potion slots on your belt. But right now we're just unarmored. I'm actually pretty glad I explained the whole deal with how Witchers were made, because that's actually an important element of the story that I forgot about.
him during training today.
You beat Lambert?
Yeah, we were fencing on the floor pegs when that strange storm came. Lambert looked away, I did a pirouette, hit him right in the gut. He didn't fall, and then he beat me.
You'll make a good swordsman yet.
I know. Every time Lambert beats me, he says I have potential.
So these bandits are in fact after the Witcher mutagens, which are what are used to make more Witchers, obviously. They're not just trying to drive us out, they weren't hired by anyone. These guys looking to do some sketch shit.
I'll make you squeal. Mess with me and die.
Damn.
You'll regret the day you were born.
And getting the timing right will take some getting used to, but it's part of a skill building experience, I guess. Group style. Okay, so this is our third style. Obviously, it's for groups. It's not really creative naming, is it? Its main focus is to cause bleeding damage and to make you more evasive. So it doesn't do direct damage, necessarily, but it'll help you in a tight spot.
You'll be sorry.
Oh, all the monsters in this game come from Polish lore, by the way, so it's interesting to look at all of them. They're all pretty fucked up for the most part. And what we've got Bigfoot and Nessie. And they've got freaking dead fetus coming to eat your mother.
These stairs lead to the lab.
Follow me.
The energy you annexed from the Circle of Elements is enough to stop the Witchers?
You trembled, yet you complained Savola would have them all, leaving none for you. Did the sight of a single Witcher, White Wolf himself, instill?
It's got a gold grill.
The aforementioned, considered dead I might add, is a known killer. I'll gladly challenge him.
Leo, stand back. Come on, Professor.
Time is essential. I wield the power of the Circle of Elements. They are no threat. Back to work. I want the mutagens ready for teleportation in 15 minutes. Our witches shan't trouble us.
We're cut off. The stairs are blocked.
The magic barrier looks solid. We need Triss.
Okay, I remember what it is. You need alcohol to make potions.
The Ard. I can't do it since I broke my fingers training along the gauntlet. Cast the Ard.
So you'll take like a bottle of fucking vodka, and you'll throw in a monster brain.
All right.
And that'll be your Thunderbolt cocktail. Okay, so this is one of our elemental stones. Witchers aren't mages necessarily, but they can use very basic magic in the form of hand signs. And this is our first one. It's called Ard. And it's essentially a force push. You can use this to execute guys easily or stun them if they don't get completely knocked down. So you're not supposed to be able to play the game as a mage, but with the way it's balanced, a full mage build is 100% viable. And this and the second game, they kind of fixed that for Witcher 3. But I think it's pretty fun if you just want to play a pure mage.
Success?
We'll see in a minute.
I knew it would work.
Let's get back before Lambert kills the Frightener himself.
Right-click to cast your equip sign. So, technically, we have like a whole circle of elements somewhere around Karamoran, but the place is under attack, so they only had time to teach me this one spell. You have to find the others lying about the game world. I have to blow this rubble out of the way. On cooldown. Or I have a stamina bar up there under my health. That's what it is. Called Vigor, I believe.
What did you learn?
The bandits are in the lab, searching for something. The mage used the circle of elements to create a magic barrier.
The plague. You're all children. Why didn't you mention the circle?
Triss, child, it didn't seem important.
If the mage aligned with the circle, he can create a stable portal through which he'll travel to anywhere on the continent, taking your equipment with him.
All right, we made a mistake, but you said the mage was harmless.
I said I didn't know him. I think we should protect the lab above all.
Don't panic, Marigold. We know you'd like to see our witch's secrets.
Vesemir, if that idiot doesn't shut it, I'll...
Enough! Lambert, stop baiting Triss. Show her some respect. Triss, if we go to the lab, they'll have us surrounded. We know tactics.
Maybe we should split up.
Geralt's right. We need to protect the lab and kill the Frightener. Who goes where?
Only I can break the barrier. I'm going inside.
Vesemir?
I'll stay and handle the Frightener and Savola. What about you, Geralt? We may both need your help.
I think we end up fighting the Frightener either way, but I'll fight it.
Handle the Frightener with Vesemir.
I'm going then.
You can't fight for us all. I'm going with you.
That's nice, Eskel, but I'm teleporting to your lab. Savola is mentally connected to the other mage. I'll use him as a beacon, and I could lose you along the way.
Be careful.
I'm a big girl. I'll manage.
Geralt, this tawny owl potion restores endurance. If there's a fight, hit the bell and cauldrons with the Ard. We need noise. I want them to hear us in Vizima.
Savola just cast a spell. Something's happening.
Alright, I'll, see you in a bit, I guess. I'll probably be playing for another hour or so.
Watch out!
I mostly chose to fight the Frightener now because I still have the Thunderbolt effect. So it'll make it a bit easier. Not that I should die in the tutorial, but it'll speed it up a bit. Bleeding, knocked down. Ooh, I just fucking died, actually. Holy crap. 2148. Yeah. I'm supposed to let the NPCs tank the beast.
If the
I'll handle the fright.
The ground is shaking.
You'll regret the day you were born. You'll regret the day you were born.
I'm pretty sure there's a way to dodge, but it hasn't taught me quite yet. Maybe there isn't, I don't know. Could be entirely chance-based. I need to drink this potion. So that third bar on the bottom, it goes up when you drink potions. It's your toxicity meter. So you can handle some potions, but even you can't drink too many of them. You can't just be uber buff boy. Once that fills up, you will start taking rapid health damage until it hits empty again. However, if you just happen to be under the effects of a potion that you no longer need, there is a cleansing potion that'll get rid of all your effects, but also wipe your toxicity. So it's somewhat important if you're going to fight a bunch of different monsters to have one of those. I believe it's white coal.
Time to die.
Oof. So that healing potion I drank was more of a health regen thing. It's not an instant heal. I have to kind of stay safe still. Good thing is that it lasts a long time. Son of a bitch. Now, I need to be using Ard more, because it does stun the thing.
What did the
play? I don't.
It made best. I'll hand you. The ground is shaking.
The world is completely unleveled, so you can run into places where you'll just get your ass beat. And it's part of learning the game, really. So pretty much until I get a silver sword, I'm not going to want to be fighting any big spooky men like this. Unless I'm prepared with potions and stuff. There you go, double tapping a direction does a dodge. This thing hasn't taken any damage yet. Its health bar is the ring, if you haven't noticed that by now.
You can't defeat a Witcher?
No, I believe silver is just a rare metal in general. That's kind of why none of these guys are fighting with silver swords at the moment. If I use some magic. Right, I think that's how... Shit, but, Right, it's a puzzle. It's not taking damage because its armor is up, and I believe I can hit that cauldron to make a bell sound, and that'll make it lower its defenses.
What did you learn? The bat.
I don't.
Vesemir might have mentioned something about it, but keep skipping through his dialogue because I keep dying.
The ground is.
We'll have this figured out by now, though. That's why there's a couple of cauldrons around here.
Challenge the Salamandra.
There's not many puzzle fights in the game. I can only think of 2 off the top of my head. This being one of them. I didn't quite remember that. He's walking over here towards this bell. Get them all ringing, including this bell. There we go, it's only the 2 of them. Now it's taking damage. That was all we had to do. See how it like lifts up his wings? Its shell's exposed now. I probably have a bestiary index that would have told me about that too, but I haven't opened up that journal yet. In fact, it hasn't told me about my journal.
They're ransacking the laboratory. The other mage is... I underestimated him. Hurry.
Oh boy, that hair.
Did you hear Triss? They're destroying the lab. We can't let them steal our secrets.
Sorry to say, Triss was right. We must stop them. Geralt, you and Leo run to the lab. I'll tend to Triss. Be careful. We don't know who we're dealing with.
We'll do what we can, Vesemir.
Quick!
I found it. We have what we came for. Professor, deal with those witches.
I hear witches can parry bolts in flight. Let's see.
Leo, stop!
Rest in peace, Leo.
Ah! Another fairy tale.
I could have parried that bolt.
What happened?
Smashed ribs, punctured lung. He's dying.
He needs White Rafford's decoction. Hang on, Leo. It was here. I can't find it.
Vesemir. Leo is dead.
That's the kind of Witcher Vesemir was. He's like a master alchemist.
He attacked the professor. I was late.
It's not your
He
fault.
knows all about the
We're all to
potions.
blame. Triss barely made it fighting for us. These are bad
It
times.
gives him kind of an old man
And something
personality.
tells me they'll only get worse.
Is it safe up top?
Relatively. Some stragglers up there, but we'll deal with them later. You look tired. I'd like you to rest. I'll keep watch and tend to Leo's body.
I'll find you later.
Perfect. Swallow potions.
They once laid me down here.
Honey L, increase endurance regeneration. They gave that to me for the boss fight, I just didn't know I had it. This is where the mutations happen. It's called the Trial of Grasses. That's what I meant when he said they laid me down here. I'm kind of stuck. Uh-oh. How did I get back here? Oh no! Oh! Hold on. We can let pathfinding do the job. No? Crap, I don't think I was supposed to get back here. I feel like he just so seamlessly slid. But now I'm unable to make it through. Ah, boy. I think I'm just gonna reload. That doesn't happen often.
How did this happen?
He attacked.
You.
I'll find you. All that's missing is a mage who'd know how to use this. They once laid me down here. Mosses and grasses. The smell is heady.
Yes?
New talents acquired. So when you meditate, this is when you can brew your potions and level up. You can also wait till any time of the day, which is required to hunt certain monsters. Like, obviously, you're not going to find a vampire walking around in broad daylight. It's a vampire. System, alchemy, map, hero. So you cannot max out your character, I don't think. Not all the way, anyways. But you get talent points for bronze things, which are these, and silver tier, and gold tier. And you got your styles for steel and silver. Like, I don't think group steel is particularly useful. Unless you're, like, fighting dogs, like... And that's more towards the beginning of the game. But group silver is super useful because drowners are all over the place. These are signs I don't have yet. I think it's kind of weird that they haven't revealed at all at the moment. I believe that's due to the mod. And you can level up your stats straight up too. Sign intensity. Rising moon. That's pretty good. Handles brewing of potions. I kind of need that. I don't have the parts to be brewing potions, but it's super useful. Stamina. Endurance regeneration. Poison resistance, pain resistance. So this is essentially your health stat then. General resistance plus your mana bar. Dexterity. I believe attack is your chance to hit and not the damage. Plus dodging. Ooh. So some of these still say require consumption of a mutagen. I believe that means that you drink a potion and get the skill automatically. So I don't spend any points on this one. Either that or any mutagen will let you pick one of these grade A skills. Get drunk, do more damage. Yeah, it's pretty useful. I think getting health might be your top priority at the moment. Fist fights are a good way to get money. Vitality regeneration. Shit. I kind of want that, but I don't think we'll do very much fighting quite yet. Gonna play it safe with our questing. Getting monster parts is a pretty big deal. And what would be the potion brewing? I think I'll get a point dexterity. Reflect arrows. Now, I don't think deflecting arrows is automatic. It's more like if you parry, it enables you to parry them, which parrying is a chance-based thing. But normally arrows would just hit you no matter what. So it's pretty important for defense regardless. Anyways, got our first level.
Eskel came by while you were resting. Triss is still unconscious, but stable.
That's a relief.
I've made a decision, Wolf. We abandon Kaer Morhen. There's nothing holding us here.
I see.
We need to bid Leo farewell and wait for Triss to recover.
And the bandits?
Yes, we need to finish things. But first, we must make a healing potion for Triss. We'll need to search for ingredients. Nothing useful left here.
I can do that. How do I make the potion?
Lambert will give you the formula. Look for him by the fireplace. He's with our brave sorceress.
Lambert? He doesn't hate Triss?
Feels guilty, I think. The first thing Triss'll hear when she wakes is, "Finally awake, Marigold." That's Lambert. Let's get to work. Later I'll teach you how to extract ingredients from monsters. I'll be in the main hall.
Fine.
Right. He didn't necessarily mean abandon this place forever. It's just all of our secrets are gone, so we have to go and find them. We can't just sit around. But they do come back to Karamor eventually. There you go. Journal's active now.
They'll pay for this.
Boreal's Quest. Go primary quest, go secondary quest. I gotta talk to Lambert. Lambert's whole thing is that he's a bitter asshole. He's one of the kids that was taken away from his parents. Like, he wasn't a stray on the street. He's not grateful for any of this. He didn't ask for it. He's the Adam Jensen of the group. These guys are only here for world building. We'll never see most of them again. Triss stays with us, obviously, but the other guys all go in their own direction to look for secrets. It makes sense to send us all to the same place. Since Geralt's story has come to a close, I think it'd be really fun to play a game as Vesemir. Back when he was young. They ever planned to do anything more with this universe.
Geralt, is something wrong?
No time to talk. I need to make a potion for Triss.
You should find a vial of white gull in the armory on the upper floor. Grab some calcium equum from the evening hall. Look for white stones in one of the chests. If you find any stragglers, finish them. We don't need prisoners. The stairs are through that door. I'd go, but Marigold lies unconscious by the fire.
Where's the calcium equum again?
In the evening hall, inside a chest.
Right.
Where can I get some?
There should be white gull in a crate in the armory on the room's full of weapons. You'll know it when you see it.
For
Lambert, I have to tell you something.
Probably get a hand axe up there.
Leo. The bandits killed him.
He wasn't ready. What a loss. We'll hunt them down, Wolf. We'll avenge Leo.
He does take a lot of responsibility when people die like that. He's very bitter, but also there were a lot more of us at one point, but that trial of grasses is what weeds out the weaker candidates. You don't survive the mutations, that's it. You went through all that training and then you're just fucking dead. So we've seen a lot of kids die.
I'll find you later.
It always gets to them. I need to get some alcohol and calcium equum. Make a potion for Trish. I believe the chest is somewhere over here. And Trish is unconscious by fire, probably right over here. Yeah. There's no quest markers in this game. You actually have to, like, get to know the whole layout of the land. As far as area progression goes, it's similar to Dragon Age 2. And that, as the story goes on, more areas will be added, but you'll be going back and forth to the same places and finding new parts of it.
Seems witches have always been better with a sword than with a paintbrush.
Playing a sneaky. Thunderbolt's still got 4 hours left on it. But notice how her toxicity is empty. So after some time, you can get quite a few buffs stacked. Guess I remembered wrong. Evening hall is probably this, the dining room. Chicken. Food's pretty important when you can't make potions yet. It's also not worth it to use a big potion when you don't have a ton of health. Save them for later in the game. Or during an important fight, maybe. But if you're trying to regenerate health outside of combat, might as well just eat a piece of chicken. Take all this stuff. Flint. Consumable, use the light of fire. Good sandwich. Right, I think we have to be in safe areas to meditate. And lighting a fire will make an area safe, I guess. Evening hall in a chest. He could very well mean someplace upstairs. Enemy? What the fuck? See, I got a hit on him with the shrunk style. It's not like he's immune to it. You're just better off using fast. Right, we're going upstairs. Unless there's a chest in here. I'm pretty sure that was the evening hall.
You'll regret the day you were born.
Orange. Money. What it is. Blueberries. Wow. So you just save on rendering, they turn it into a little pile of guts after a time period. The corpse stays, but it doesn't stay. Well, it's looted anyways. Or if we can't find that chest, we'll at least go up here to the weapon room and grab the alcohol.
I'll make you squeal.
Oof. Group style's the way to go here. You try to dodge and you got his fucking throat slit. Epic gamer moment, bro. Gonna be mad if Lambert just didn't bother to tell me the evening hall's upstairs, because I see another dining room right over there.
You'll regret the day you were born.
Well, quest log says I killed them all, so he should be safe now. He takes his time putting the sword away. I can't do it manually. I can draw it manually, but he'll put it away eventually. I think you actually move a bit faster with your weapon drawn, so I might just pull it out to look edgy when I'm trying to travel fast. potion. I guess I have to know the formula to figure out what it is. Otherwise I can take a risk and drink it. Obviously not a healing potion, it's probably some kind of buff. Could very well be poison though. Goose fact. So you need alcohol for potions, but you need grease to make blade oils. So you might go murder a few dogs to get some tallow. I say dogs, but I don't think that this game's has dogs in it necessarily. There's wolves for sure. Witcher 3 has like tons of fucking starving dogs all over the place though. I think it's hilarious. And sad for the doggos, but hilarious that there's just armies of starving dogs ready to ruin people's lives. This is Yennefer's study. And so it's all nice, kept together. I think Triss is staying here to keep up the facade. Wine. I believe there's like a general storage chest at taverns where I can store all this stuff. So I'm just boring right now. I definitely don't want to be carrying around just straight alcohol. It's not useful to me. Not without any perks to get drunken bonuses. Looking for the weapon room still. I don't think I found that calcium equium. Probably on the first floor. Mutton leg. Notice that your health isn't super big in terms of numbers. Same goes for damage values. Getting an additional 20 health is a pretty big deal, as well as having 1 health regeneration. I always appreciate it when I'm not hitting a guy for 1,000,000 damage and not killing him. It sounds so ridiculous. It's probably the weapon room then. Swallow potions. Don't mind if I do. Calcium equium. Unknown potion. The Frightener. Right, so here's a bestiary book. And when I read this, I should learn about the mutagen I can make from its body when I go and loot it. Glossary, medicine, tutorials, monsters. Rhinos are very rare. Wow. Sensitive to steel and silver. Wow. Loud sounds and high frequencies are where take it down, though. Would have been nice to know this before the fight. I might have even been able to go up there. I can't quite remember if I was auto forced into the basement or not. I got the mineral I needed, though. So, journal quest. Found the mineral. Potion for Triss. Ah! Well. I think those quest markers are new. I guess this is the evening hall. It says white goals in this room somewhere. Chest. An axe. Hey. Damage minus 30%. This is just a weapon. It's not especially useful. In fact, damage is quite low on it. But it's a sword, so we can put oils on it. That's its main function right now as a piece of crap. But this axe is much useful. It also can't take advantage of the combat styles. I think it's straight just a heavy weapon. But it has a 40% chance of bleeding. Isn't that awesome? Useful for early game. Marion Iron Dagger. Where'd it go? Oh, I fucking dropped it. Inventory full. It either won't fit, or I can only hold the one weapon at a time. I don't really remember that aspect. You might just drop your things on the ground when you're done with them. Find something better, make something better. Anti-Witcher pamphlet. Mild Witcher hallucinogen. So this is extra strong alcohol. Most weaker potions can be made with just flat alcohol, but white gold is just your basic base for stronger stuff. Like mutagens, which is what we can make out of that monster when we get around to him. Read this book. Indeed, there is nothing more repulsive than these monsters that defy nature and are known by the name of Witcher, as they are the offspring of foul sorcery and witchcraft. They are unscrupulous scoundrels without conscience and virtue, irritable creatures from hell, capable of only taking lives. They have no place amongst decent and honest folk. And this Kaer Morhen, where these villains nest and practice foul rituals, must be wiped off the face of the earth, and all evil traces of it need to be treated with salt and saltpeter to complete the deed. I'll try and read. I know I said that my voice hurts, but I need to build strength in it, right? So salt and saltpeter, that is common knowledge amongst the people at least. setting up, if there's maybe a killer ghost somewhere in the village, just setting up a line of salt outside your door will probably keep you safe. Coating a weapon in salt is a jerry-rig way of making a silver type of weapon. Anyways, both the ingredients you need were upstairs. I wasn't missing anything down here, thank God. So I need to make Trish her potion. I'd like to see if I can go outside and grab those monster parts or not. I know you get them, but I'm not sure if they're missable. It's locked. They'll probably tell me about it as a tutorial or something like that.
What do you need?
Done. I have the ingredients, and it's safe upstairs.
Good. You'll need 2 more things to make the potion. The claw of a mighty beast, and some celandine. Vesemir will tell you where to find them. Let me teach you the formula.
Claw of the mighty beast from that shrieker. The eyeball is the one that we use for mutagen.
Oh, that was a tough fight.
I finished off several marauders upstairs.
We might not have taken down the Frightener without you. Unfortunately, Triss had to get past Savola first, giving them time. They took almost everything, but the devices aren't most important.
If I'd gone with her, I might have tended to Savola.
Without you, the Frightener might have finished us. You did well, Wolf. Take this armor and sword. I've been keeping them for you.
Wow, so you give me a not training sword? Awesome.
Lambert gave me the formula.
I take it you already have White Gull and Calcium Equum.
I do. What next?
You'll need celandine. Take what I have. Plus the claw of a monster like the Frightener. To skin a creature, take a sharp knife and cut along the torso. You'll find the Frightener's carcass in the upper courtyard. Once you've extracted the claw, rest by the fire while making the potion.
Alright, so, that beginning cutscene we watched, we saw Geralt had like a white shirt and then just a black leather jacket on, some leather pants. That's what your traditional Witcher outfit looks like, the leather jacket. But, one of the mods I installed, I think it was Rise of the White Wolf, it changed the look of all the armors, so you can see a bit more progression when you upgrade. I believe originally you were just that white shirt, then you get a jacket, then you get a better jacket that looks the same, and then you get some actual armor, depending on which faction you picked. I think that was all the armor in the game. So they're all a lot more distinct now. Plus they're just higher res. Frightener's Vision scroll contains formula for potion made using the Eye of the Frightener. Potion grants 1 bronze talent. I could just drop all this stuff, but the hoarder in me wants to just stash it in a treasure chest somewhere. I'm 80% sure the one in the taverns is a shared chest. So that's where I'd like to leave it if I can. Ring and sigil slot. Right, so I didn't get another belt slot yet. I mean, I'd like to keep this organized. Tawny Owl. I'll keep my potions down in this corner so it doesn't get mixed up with all the other crap. Unknown potion. White gold. Books. Alcohol. Increased damage inflicted by 20%. It's a consumable, so I'll keep it down there, I guess. Unknown potion. Right. Red. Good to get that out of the way early. I'm a very organized person. It'll bug me if I don't have those tiny icons lined up in a reasonable way. Go Skinner Frightener. And I pull out the dagger. Alright. Okay, so this one doesn't have a nerf on it. It's a normal sword. That's good. So I guess... not any way to look at my damage stat, is there? Guess not. I'll probably have to see what damage it's hitting in combat, see how weak or strong the axe is compared to this. I'm sure the axe is stronger since this is a basic sword. There's the claw. So C, E. I have to equip it manually. I don't know why he's not putting his sword away yet. Press R to do it, I think. Maybe. RF. Quick turn button. That's useful. Shift with shoulder, it's over. Messing around with the keyboard. Options, controls, instead of just hitting stuff randomly. Silver Z, draw steel Q, extra up in 1 R, extra up in 2 T, extra up in 3 U. Non-combat mode tab. It's probably how they put it away then. Gotcha. So then, E, U? Why isn't it Y? I'm gonna change that. Unless Y is used for something else. Internal map alchemy. Yeah, why isn't it just Y then? URTY. Makes me happy. I didn't look at what the dagger actually did I? It's probably just really fast. Doesn't cause any bleeding or anything. vial to create potions. Alchemy. Add ingredients to the vial automatically. Alright, so I can just auto brew potions, but I need the proper ingredients. What am I missing? Neutral, Rebus, and Quibith. Probably just wants me to make this potion before anything else, so I don't screw myself out of the ingredients. I might have what I need. I think the X might mean that I don't have anything for that category, though. What's the deal? Oh, mix. Yeah, it turns into an X when you don't have anything, so I'll have to make that brighter vision later. They moved Trish, but I don't know why. Probably just so we can fuck. And so the other two games have pretty explicit cutscenes. Very brave of them. Watch some beautiful Polish bodies rub against each other. But this game does not. Instead, you collect trading cards for all the girls you fucked. Isn't that awesome? It's kind of like a trophy. I think it's hilarious. Anyways, the US version has the cards censored. Censored in quotes, like, you know, they're just more covered, less exposed. So, I bought this one on Steam. I have a disc for the European edition, which has nudity on the cards. But I don't have a disc drive anymore, so I had to buy this on Steam. It was cheap. Anyways, I'm not sure what edition it's giving us. Pretty sure little nudity's safe on Twitch, right? As long as it's not the main focus of the game. This isn't a porn game, so we're good.
Oh.
Have a gift. Quest item, there we go.
Thank you, Geralt.
I hope this potion helps.
That was terrible. I dreamt Lambert was with me. He was staring at me, saying things like, "Don't go dying on me, Marigold," calling me big-headed. I'm so glad to see you. What?
I'm glad you're feeling better.
I know we should set out, but I have a feeling we won't be back. Perhaps ever. Won't you stay just a bit longer? With me?
I suppose we have some time.
I'm so happy you're back. When I saw you, all the feelings I tried to deny returned, stronger than ever.
Triss, I'm not ready to talk about the past.
Of course. I shouldn't pressure you. I just feel so... the powers. I'm behaving like a teenager. Let's focus on the present. I guess I disappointed you all. Forgive me.
Nothing to forgive. What I felt when I learned you were alive, hard to compare to anything.
Oh,
Except maybe what I feel as I look at you.
I missed you so. Let's see if the best bed in Kaer Morhen can hold us.
Right, we have censored cutscenes, quote unquote. Some of them are kind of funny, actually. It's her puzz.
Geralt, a pleasure, as always.
As always?
You don't remember anything?
Unfortunately.
Well, you have something to look forward to then. No matter. Tell me, how did the battle end?
They broke into the lab, killed Leo, stole our mutagens, and escaped.
Poor Vesemir. Another protege dead prematurely.
We delayed the funeral until you awoke.
Thank you. As for the mutagens, their loss could prove catastrophic. Let's not lose any more time. Unless there's something you'd like to ask me?
Can you restore my memory?
I'd have to examine you. There's a good chance your memory will return on its own.
How much chance?
That's difficult to say. It might help if I knew what caused you to lose your memory.
Well, no time for that now.
Geralt, can we go?
The theft. What are its possible consequences?
Most sorcerers and rulers would sell their greedy, power-hungry souls to get the mutagens. Only a master of the arcane arts can use that knowledge. Not many of those left.
What about wealthy merchants, dukes, kings?
Perhaps. Anything's possible, but speculating wastes time. We just don't have enough information.
True.
Geralt, can we go?
We shouldn't keep Vesemir waiting.
Come on, then.
Right, so we got the censored version of the guards. That's cool. I like it when they leave a bit more to the imagination anyways.
We don't know where the bandits came from or who's behind them. We'll draw attention if we venture out as a group. By splitting up, we can also cover more territory.
I'll go west. I know a few people there, and I prefer the coastal
Then
climate.
I'll head east, to Kedwin, unless someone objects.
That's fine. Which way should I go?
South, to Temeria. King Foltest owes you a debt of gratitude. Some time ago, you removed a curse from his daughter. You might happen on the bandits' trail there. And you, Triss?
I'll try to use my influence to find the bandits. If I learn anything, I'll contact Geralt.
That curse is the intro cutscene I had us watch. We'll have run-ins with the king later, but we start on the outskirts of the city.
I'll gather what information I can and find you in Vizima.
Triss.
Don't, Geralt. I detest goodbyes. I'm liable to cry, and there's nothing more pathetic than a sorceress in tears. Don't get killed, Geralt. I don't think I could deal with that again. I'll see you soon.
See you, Triss.
Oh, kind of dropping a hint, but that sex would have jogged some memories. Were Triss actually Geralt's lover? I told you all about Yennefer already. Triss just kind of had a crush on Geralt, I guess. They never actually did anything before losing his memory. Well, Kaer Morhen was in the country of Kedwin, technically, even though it's its own, like, Witcher stronghold, not necessarily part of Kedwin. We've ran off to Temeria now, which is the democratic country. This is about as close to England or America as you can get. Kedwin's more like Germany, I guess.
Caroline, I'm tired. It's not far now. We'll be there soon.
don't think democratic's the right word, but people here are a lot more free.
I'm cold.
We'll fetch you warm milk and honey. You'd like that.
Very much. Thank you, Caroline.
Also, the big evil empire of Nilfgaard, which is totally not Russia. Doggos. Eating a person.
Alvin, do exactly as I say. This is important. Run to the inn as fast as you can, and don't look back. Understand?
They're evil dogs.
Run!
What the hell? Shut the gate, quickly! The beast! The beast is attacking! Sound the alarm!
Oh, there goes his mom or sister or whatever. You'd think this is dramatic just to see a kid lose someone, but Alvin's actually one of our main characters.
Melatelli must have sent you. There's a woman outside. The dogs will tear her apart. Help her. Help! No!
Don't open the gate! The beasts will enter! These dogs are deadly.
You people are monsters! Stand aside! I'll save her myself!
Stop. Don't go out there alone.
Damn you! We're all going to die!
So that girl's name is Shawnee. She's a doctor, and she's an old friend of Geralt's. As you'd imagine, since Geralt's a mutant and people don't like him, he kind of fits in with all the non-humans. As a doctor, she has the Hippocratic Oath. She'll help anybody, so she isn't super racist either. Geralt's a very accepting person. He actually died during
What was that?
Magic.
a non-human revolt.
The beast!
He's assisting them.
Geralt, look!
The time of the sword and axe approaches. The time of the white frost and white light. The time of madness and disdain. Tedirit, the final age. The world will perish amidst ice and be reborn with the new sun. Reborn of elder blood, of hen Iker, of a planted seed. A seed that will not sprout but burst into flames.
The old elven prophecy of Itlena. I hope he's all right.
It seems he saved us from the beast.
Yes, seems so. Oh, I do hope he's not hurt. I'll need to find someone to take care of him. He shouldn't be alone. We'll stay at the inn in the meantime.
Wait a minute. I ran into wild dogs on my way here, but they were nothing like these, and I don't mean just the green fur. Know anything about them?
They've been terrorizing the village for some time. Every few days, a villager is killed. The pack is led by a large hound, perhaps a wolf. People call it the Beast.
Someone might pay to have the beast slain.
That's what witchers do, isn't it? But enough about monsters. What brings you here?
I'm seeking men who wear the sign of the salamander. Seen anyone like that in the area?
Shh, not so loud. There was someone, but the peasants grow silent at the mere mention of him. The Reverend might know more. You may also want to ask him about the beast.
I'll do that.
Did you want to ask me something?
It's been a long time since I've heard mention of Salamandra. Do you know anything about them?
I think they're a group of bandits who terrify the locals. Yesterday, they returned a boy they'd whipped with a lamia.
A lamia?
A mayhen crop with small barbs and hooks. It rips away skin and flesh with each strike. Most civilized countries have banned them. The boy was delirious. Muttered something about a ransom and the Reverend. Sadly, he grew feverish, and he died that night.
Thanks. I may stay longer than I planned.
Why the interest in Salamandra?
They killed someone I was fond of, and stole something of mine.
I wouldn't want to be them.
Do we know each other?
It's me, Shawnee.
Don't you recognize me? Whatever happened to you? I heard you died during a massacre in Rivia.
Unfortunately, I lost my memory. I recall the last few weeks, nothing more.
I'm afraid I can't help. Medicine's a fledgling science here in the north. I can say that your memory might come back on its own.
It's not that bad. I'm actually getting used to it.
I hate to admit it, but sorcerers are somewhat more effective at this than we are. Maybe one of them could help.
What brings you to this village?
I'm traveling to St. Libioda's hospital in Vizima to help fight the Catriona plague.
When are you leaving?
Once I've helped the victims of the dog attacks, I guess. I can't abandon them. It'll delay me, but some are certain to die without my aid.
So what'll become of Alvin?
I don't know. I'll look after him for now. Maybe a villager will take him in.
He seems clever enough. Surely someone will want him.
Did you want to ask me something?
We'll speak later.
Was there anything else I wanted to say? Right, Alvin, he got possessed by something and started talking about the prophecy, end of the world, that the white frost, the world's gonna freeze.
Be alert.
That's one of the elements of this game that fell out of place originally. They go deeper in with that storyline for the plot of 2 and 3, but at the time we were just like, well, why isn't that ever really talked about? It kind of is towards the end of the game, but still, it just felt weird. We have a run-in with the King of the Wild Hunt too, and again, it's just out of place feeling at the time, but they do take care of it later down the line. Anyways, this is Act 1. We're going to do less talking and more playing of the game next time, I guess. As I remember, first priority is probably just to win some fistfights to get money. Then we'll do some investigations into what the hell's going on out here. But we'll take care of that next time. I'm really excited to be playing this. Thank you anybody who watched. Alright, spent 2 hours talking, and like we only got past the tutorial. But I don't know, I hope it was interesting to listen to anyways. I will see you guys some other time. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. You know, probably tomorrow. I'm on that hype. I want to keep playing this. Anyways, take care.